Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Thank you for being with me. And if you are dealing with the flooding wherever you are, we are thinking of you. We've had a lot out there, of course, across the Western Caribbean into Central America and now the Gulf of Mexico. There's been some other spots in the Caribbean where we had some rain yesterday. Trinidad, we had some problem spots with some flooding, and that's why I do this channel for safety. So I'm doing my best island by island to cover us, and I'll continue to do so. But this is the big area that's a big problem spot, the development potentially of Alberto. Regardless, we're going to see some flooding. I want to get into that, but I do want to touch upon this. Yesterday, as we got into yesterday evening, late afternoon, early evening, there was an earthquake in Jamaica. You may have felt it. Let me know in the comments if you did feel it in your location. It wasn't a super crazy one, but I always monitor these in case there's any clusters or additional areas of earthquakes. I'll be watching that. But this broad spin right here, that is what is trying to turn into Alberto. And look at this, just kind of helping to draw in this moisture back toward parts of Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, many spots where we don't need it. We've had flooding in parts of Belize, other parts of Mexico, and a few spots in Honduras. Now, this is starting to flare up. You see this kind of bubbling up right here. In yesterday's video, I showed you that warm pocket of water, and it was kind of deep warm water right here. It is now feeding off of that, just what I was talking about yesterday with you. So it may wrap up into Alberto. It's not a guarantee this gets a name. Regardless, same thing, just throwing back a lot of rain. Fortunately, there's some good news with this, that it will bring some rain where we need it in parts of Mexico. But as you know, in the tropics, sometimes it's too much too quickly, and that could be the case in this scenario. A broad area of sustained tropical storm force winds that are now hitting parts of South Texas in northeastern sections of Mexico. The rain, though, is the big issue. That flood threat is the big issue. Tropical storm warnings are up. So northeast Mexico, everything on track from what we've been talking about over the last few days. And this surge of moisture will just be in place. And we could see that secondary system forming this weekend, and we'll touch upon that. We have this little disturbance up here getting closer to the Bahamas, and still some scattered rain around. Some spots will be dry, others we're going to see some downpours around as that day goes on. But there's that spot right there approaching the Bahamas, flaring up. This is that other area I was talking about earlier this week. And there is the potential of that to develop a little bit as it hits some warmer water. So kind of watching that too. And you can see that area right here. Here's the European model. Here's Cuba. We get back through Jamaica, get over toward Belize, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, Puerto Rico. And it's this big flow of moisture allowing things to spin up and develop, and that's why we have that potential storm right now, which may get a name, which would be Alberto. But this flow is going to stay in place. High pressure up here, keeping everything aimed in the general direction of the Caribbean. Even some weaker stuff, but in this weaker stuff, we could get downpours and we could get flooding like we had on the southern portions of Trinidad yesterday. So we're going to see that flow. There's that area of high pressure just bringing in more moisture. So this will move in as we go through the day today into tonight, into South Texas and northeast Mexico, and watching out for the flooding. And then we draw our attention to this, more moisture building right on the heels, back-to-back storm systems, a potential with this one. There's some of the spotty showers through the Bahamas. There's that disturbance, not showing much in the way of development there. But this here, we go from, this here is on Friday. So we go from one area to another, or one storm system to another. We start to get that broad spin again on Friday right here. And another tropical wave sliding into the Eastern Caribbean by St. Vincent the Grenadines and Grenada. And then you see this broad spin here as we go from Friday into Saturday. It'll be over the warm water. Now, yes, the water will have cooled a little bit because we have some rain on top of that now. We have that storm system on top of it now, but it won't be enough. It's still going to be very warm to allow this to develop somewhat. But back-to-back systems right through here, that will lead to additional flooding throughout Mexico and even over toward parts of Guatemala and El Salvador. And then this here just kind of throwing at us some spotty showers, tropical waves moving in, areas of rain, areas of thunderstorms. This here is on our Saturday. And then eventually, if this develops, or even if it doesn't, this is going to swing back toward the west. Now, the first part of it, the area right now, the first of the back-to-back systems that could become Alberto, this is a different map. These squiggly lines are the computer models. and they are all in the tropical storm range. Nothing too crazy, but over the next about 36 hours out, those tropical force winds, tropical storm force winds will have. And then as it moves inland, of course, the winds subside, but the rain is the issue. We'll go over those totals in a moment. Here's the American model showing that spin there. Here's the rain with that potential of more flooding. Those rivers, there's going to be such sharp runoff. I've seen this firsthand in many of these locations, many of our spots where you get that runoff. You know about it, and all of a sudden the rivers are okay, and then a few hours later they are just very, very treacherous. And you see here, as this system works in tomorrow, well, rather today into tonight, by tomorrow, still dealing with some rain here, but look at that big blob of rain. Again, feeding up to the north, plus watching these areas of rain in parts of the Caribbean. Jamaica, still most of this just off toward the west. And then as we work our way into Saturday, there could be some development here. But just like the current system, even if there's not development, we don't need a named system to cause huge issues. Still that rain around. Look at the Yucatan Peninsula on Sunday, dealing with rain. Cayman Islands, we're going to see some additional rain, and western Cuba. And then this here, watching a little bit of rain trying to get back toward the Bahamas, and more bigger tropical waves that will eventually moving in as we get into the later portions of the month. So we have one spin here, this white shading. Those are winds around 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers an hour. A little bit of red getting in there too. That could be some gusts that get upwards of 60 miles per hour in some spots, approaching 100 kilometers an hour. And then this will move in. That spin works in. So dealing with the weather today, the worst weather today, South Texas, Northeast Mexico. And then you see here, let me stop it here. This is on Saturday. Another spin trying to form, but regardless, the same thing. And the rivers are going to be running like crazy the next couple days in spots in Mexico. And then we throw this second system on top of it. That is not a good scenario. So as far as some of the rain totals go, you see this white or black shading in here, 100 millimeters to 150 millimeters of rain, or 4 to 6 inches of rain. But then off of the chart, these brighter colors, that's upwards of 300 millimeters of rain when you get into the yellows and the greens, and that 300 millimeters of rain is about 12 inches of rain, or a foot of rain. Even higher in some locations for 3-day totals. And that's why there is that high concern for still the life-threatening flooding. There have been lives lost. People have died in this over the last few days in certain countries and certain areas. And we're going to see more in the way of rain. So please get the word out. Be safe about that. South Texas into northeast Mexico. And you see once again the brighter colors, over 150 millimeters of rain. Some spots in northeastern, right there, northeastern sections of Mexico will get 300 millimeters of rain, or a foot of rain. And then we have that other system that will be working in. Now, as far as the seas go, those are going to be elevated, dangerous surf conditions. You see here about 4 to 5 meters. Here's your meter scale, and that would be about 13 to 15 feet. Also choppy here with that little tropical disturbance approaching the northern Bahamas. But we just have this moisture plume that is with us. The swells working in, and you see there the seas are going to build, or they have today, but they're going to kind of rebuild with this next area that will be moving in. Let me take you out in time here, Thursday into Friday. This is Friday. So once again, with that next system forming, the Bay of Campeche is going to get on the rough side, and the western Caribbean, close to the Cayman Islands, then back through Belize over toward Honduras, watching Providencia, San Andres for some of those higher seas as we work our way Friday into Saturday. So if one of these systems gets a name, the first name on the list this season is Alberto, but the forecast on track regardless if this does get classified as a named system. So I've been covering all of this moisture, but not losing sight of some of the flooding we've had in Guyana and Suriname, and seeing some additional rain through Trinidad and Tobago. It's not a washout, but we could see some additional flooding the next couple days, with at least isolated to scattered showers. Cuba, Jamaica, watching out for some scattered showers and storms. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, even the British and U.S. Virgin Islands. But there's a big secondary plume plume of rain. Look at Nicaragua as we work our way into our Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. Some areas of flooding. Let me know what you get. Panama, not as much, but Costa Rica north, that's where more of the rain will be. Haiti and the DR seeing some of those scattered showers, and there's some additional rain that's been popping up in the southeastern Caribbean. Still, northeastern Caribbean, Antigua, Barbuda, we could get a few showers and storms, just not as widespread. Watching out for some spotty showers as we get back toward the Bahamas. So these rain totals, when you see things kind of like spotty in nature like this, that's telling me some thunderstorms. If you get a thunderstorm, 75 millimeters of rain or 3 inches of rain, we'll have some scattered showers at times, U.S., British Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico, in kind of the hit or miss variety, Saba, Statia, St. Kitts and Nevis, back through Montserrat, Antigua, and Barbuda. Same thing, Dominica, Martinique, down through Trinidad and Tobago with those scattered showers. Could be a little bit more, though. Still some spots anywhere from 25 millimeters to 75 millimeters of rain, 1 to 3 inches of rain for a 3-day total in Trinidad. But we did have some flooding yesterday, so watching that. Higher totals, again, could get upwards of 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain in parts of Guyana, and as we work our way back toward Venezuela. On the top side of this, in the Atlantic region of Canada, it's a little more settled. We're going to see a front, though, starting to work in coming out of Quebec. So this is the top side of all of this action that I've been tracking for you as we work our way into our Thursday afternoon. A couple little showers here. May get a thunderstorm, too. That will be a possibility, especially because of the heating from the day. It is so hot. So a couple passing showers and thunderstorms will be possible as we slide through the end of the week. So Jamaica, 40% chance of scattered showers and storms, up to a 50% chance in the Cayman Islands. We're going to watch out for some additional flooding as we get into the weekend. Trinidad and Tobago, scattered showers and even a few storms, a 40% chance. Barbados, 20 to 30% chance, and a 30% chance for us in St. Lucia. Rain chance holding on to about a 30% chance the next couple days in Grenada. Then we swing over toward St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a 20 to 30% chance, isolated showers and storms, 30 to 40% chance in Martinique, and a 30% chance in Dominica. And if we don't get rain, it is going to be on the hot side. Guadeloupe, rain chance 30%, and 30% the next 3 days, Antigua and Barbuda. Could get a storm or two. St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, rain chance 30%, a 50% chance, though, in Anguilla. Slightly better chance, Anguilla and St. Bart's today. St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, 30% chance, 40 to 50% chance of some scattered showers and or thunderstorms in Puerto Rico and over toward the British and U.S. Virgin Islands. Rain chance 40% for today. Holding on to a 40% chance in the Bahamas and a 30% chance Turks and Caicos. Maybe a little bit higher on Friday if a few more showers sneak in. The Dominican Republic, a 40 to 50% chance of scattered showers and storms, and isolated showers and storms possible in Haiti and on the hot side. Rain chance in Belize. On the higher side, let me know your location in Belize and if you're getting any flooding. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, that rain chance stays kind of low, a 10 to 20% chance. Guyana, 60 to 70% chance, 60 to 70% chance in Suriname. Some pockets of higher totals. Cuba, scattered showers and storms, and a lot of it's been in our western zones, but still some isolated storms elsewhere. Costa Rica, slightly higher chance of rain than Panama, but overall still elevated. Nicaragua, look at that, going up tomorrow. Watching out for some flooding, so thank you for spreading the word. Honduras, we're going to get some batches of rain for some of us and that flood potential. Guatemala and El Salvador, if you do get some rain, we're looking at some downpours in spots that will add to the flooding issues. And then Mexico City, we're going to see that rain starting to work in, scattered to widespread tomorrow as this system starts to pull in from the Gulf of Mexico, and still kind of a mess over toward the Yucatan of Mexico with more rain showers. Isolated northern Colombia, 30% chance. Northern Venezuela, a 30% chance. And in Bermuda, looking okay with that rain chance at about 10%, but it will be breezy to windy. So back-to-back major rain events in the Western Caribbean, Central America, with that system moving back toward Mexico. These large spins may or may not get named, but either way, the forecast is the same. Watching the river crossings, the rivers, and the mudslides, and more tropical waves pumping toward the Eastern Caribbean over the next few days. So there's so much going on with these kind of systems right on each other's back. So let me know your location and what you have, and so everyone, and we could all go through the comments as we go through the day, and I appreciate the likes on the video. I do see those, and that's a nice way to say thank you. I hope you're doing well. Please stay safe if you're dealing with some of this heavier weather, and have a good rest of your day.